Hello, welcome to Rampant Pyanodon, Season 5, Episode 9. Last episode, we finished up logistics science, and this episode, we are going to get ready for the transition to 2.0. Yep, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stockpile some more ammo in case we need it while we transition our base. Okay, and next up, I'm going to expand my mall to include stuff like bots and bot chargers and trains and power poles and a lot of stuff for my base transition. And I mentioned base transition. I'm going to elaborate on the base transition. Basically, I'm migrating to Factorio 2.0, which was when the Space Age update came out. Space Age is not compatible yet with Pi, but a lot of stuff has changed. A lot of very foundational stuff to the game has changed. First of all, stacking is now in the base game, and my entire base is built off of stacking belt boxes, which I have like 1,000 of them, so that all needs to be ripped out. AI loaders has kind of bothered me not AI loaders, just loaders in general have kind of bothered me. I just feel like they're overpowered, and the AI mod allows loaders to require lubricant, which I think is an interesting trade-off. So I think I will be including that, which would change a lot in my base. And the third change is, the addition of quality. Quality and also spoilage. Those two would make me have to redo large portions of my base to account for them. And so I'm going to do away with those things as well. So, it's just a lot of different stuff are changing. So my solution to this is that I'm going to literally cover my entire base in roboports, and I'm going to pack up my entire base. I'm going to pack up the entire thing into logistics chests and then port over and change all my mods to 2.0 and get my mod setup going, and then continue from there. And basically the next season, the goal is to just, the goal for the next season is to remake my entire base in 2.0 for all the way up to logistics science. And this time we'll see how big my building will become. So that's what you're seeing in the background right now. It's just like me adding a bunch of buildings for the malls and getting that all ready. For funsies, I released about another 100 aerial turbines into the network for a total of 300 aerial turbines. I think that'll serve me well in the next, post-transition. I also decided to scale up simple circuit boards, since that is the one ingredient that I'm kind of missing the most out of all my other things that are going on in the mall. All right, and with the mall done and churning away, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover the entire base in roboports. So that's what you can see going on in the background. Okay, and like 4 hours later, I have most of the base covered, which is about 431 Pi RoboPart Mark 1s, but I'm almost out and I'm not producing that much and I'm impatient, so I think I'm going to cover the rest with the zone extenders. Okay, and that took a lot longer than I thought it would, but everything is covered except for this little extension up here for Diazagel. And then this extension, right, this little piece, because they all have their little storehouses. So we're good on those for now. The only other things too, the ports are not covered. I'm actually gonna delete this. I'm gonna get rid of everything here. And I fucking love Diggy Digland. And it's a shame that it's going to have to go, but I'm also going to get rid of this. And you're like, oh, why do you have to delete these islands? I think there's a lot of new generation happening. And so I think it would make more sense if I just take these islands, like you see these islands here and this island here. I want to delete them. This island too, which has, I think this is Psych Manon's island. Yeah, they're all going to go and disappear. Because after I port over to 2.0, I'm also going to delete everything outside of this continent. Like, I'm going to unload all these chunks outside of the main continent to simplify things. So, yeah, I love those guys, but say goodbye. Dang. I really like Diggy Digland, but it's gotta go. So I park the 2 cargo ships, and then I get the construction bots to work, taking all the items to our logistics storage area, which is just where the graveyard is, because I will be, again, tearing down the entire base. I have 1,000 construction drones right now, and it is an absolute pleasure to watch these guys work. Okay, and with everything off continent being taken care of, I think I'm going to help with these cargo ships that my drones are currently working on, and then we'll begin disassembling the base. Okay, so I've literally only cleaned up 3 islands and the cargo ships, and I am halfway done with the logistics storage, so I'm going to expand it a little bit. And there we go. That is almost 1,000 more, so hopefully that gives us a little bit more extra room. And yeah, since we're still stocking up some stuff like trains and rails, I think the first thing we should disassemble are tiles. And since my robots are ready, we can just do a test run with the quartz ore. So let's just deconstruction planner this, and it grabs all the tiles. And it looks like they all ran out of energy and are going back. So we'll see how this plays out. This is definitely the hardest part to clean up, since that part of the base has no roboports. I may end up just doing this side myself and then letting them clean up stuff on the right side. Yeah, at this point, I'm going to stop talking, but just please enjoy the deconstruction B-roll. So yeah, that took about 15 hours of deconstruction, and I'd say my favorite part about this 15-hour deconstruction process is just watching the logistics bots sort my items into the chests. It's just really satisfying. Shout out to Simple Anglerfish. Goodbye to your furnace continent. By the way, I will bring you in when I rebuild the base. But otherwise, at this point, since I'm going to start to deconstruct the rest of the base, I'm going to disconnect the magazine stores and give every one of these outposts their own power source, which is just going to be one of these aerial or not an aerial turret. It's going to be one of these wind turbines. I don't know if it's a watt or a watt, but I'm going to give them one of those and put it in all 4 of them before I start deconstructing, the actual building bases, and that'll be another montage and probably like another 15 hours. So yeah, another 15 hours later, and we've spent about, I think, over 30 hours picking up our entire base and shoving it in a logistics chest. And it was a pain, but at least we got to watch the drones in action. I mean, look at these B-roll shots. I'm telling you, I just loved watching them go. It was amazing. And yeah, over time we expanded it a little bit, and now I guess we can show you. I wanted you guys to be here for the final moment. I'm gonna clean up the last bit of the base, and then we can go over all the items I have in the entire base. All right, so the items I have in my base, I've flashed up, I think like the top 30 items or something. Number 1 is 774,000 coal, followed by 550,000 raw coal and 514,000 coke, which isn't surprising. I had a lot of coke, coal, and a bunch of burnables on the belt. ash at 418,000 is actually, I'm pretty happy with that. That means I burned most of it, and then crushed coal, another coal product at 389K. So the top 5 are like all coal related. And then we have 277K iron ore, 254K wood, and then we have our first tile, 280 or 238,000 refined concrete, which is just insane. Quartz ore, I was surprised to be so high up there. I guess it's such a long way to go, and it was just fully saturated. So there's a ton of quartz ore. Kerogen, plastic bars. I guess I stocked up a lot of plastic bars because my production is very slow of that. 188K transport belts. I just want to say that I actually handcrafted every single one of those belts. I never had a belt maul, so yeah. Then 168K iron plates, 166K lead plates. So in all, yeah, this was basically this was everything, and it fills up my slots quite nicely too. So yeah, this was yeah, I'll stop talking. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the end of the season. I got 2 logistics, and I guess I packed up my entire base. So thank you guys. Thank you to my patrons, and I'll see you guys in the next season. Just kidding. I mean, I'm going to see you guys in the base tour episode.